for her mom, and she's now talking about her book where she gives information for others to learn. Terry, welcome back.
Thank you so much. I'm so grateful to be able to share this portion. I know we was just talking about what caregivers need, and now I want to talk to you about this book, the Dementia Caregivers, Stress-Free Toolkit, written by myself. It is an ebook, so you can get it on. Actually, I have it on Gumroad. The link, I have sent it over to Dolores. She can put it in, and it can be put up with the web in the comments. But it is a book that I wrote because I wanted a stress-free life and still enjoy caring for my mother at that time.
So that's
and
your
that's
purpose.
One of the things that I want Yes.
Mm-hmm.
And that's one of the things that I wanted to help other caregivers, because you could get very stressed out, burnt out, and don't have a way out sometimes. So one of the things that I loved the most in it was when I spoke about the calm day routine. That's in chapter 4. And basically what I'm going to do is just read a sample of a day routine that I came up with.
Okay.
At 7 a.m., I would go in and open the blinds to signal daytime and let your natural light in. Although my mother hated that time because she was not feeling getting up early, I did it anyhow. Offer a warm drink. She loved coffee, but I had to stop her from coffee. So I would give her some tea and a simple breakfast. And then administer morning medication as it was prescribed. Then did a little gentle movement, stretch, walk, or do chair exercises so that I can get her mobile and she won't just be laying around all the time. Did it always work? No. But it was in motion, right? In the midday, anywhere between 10 and 2, I started to engage in activities that she enjoys. I would try puzzles, sorting items, folding towels, looking at old photos.
Mm-hmm.
Does it work all the time? I'm not going to say it does, but it gives you an action and an activity for time to bond with them. And then we will sit and we'll have lunch together. And one thing that I had to realize, and I'm still working on, is hydration. So that was where it was, with hydration break and a restroom check. Many times I would find that she would become irritable and angry more, and I had to stop and say, you know what, maybe it's because she is wet. It's sad, but you look at it, they become a baby again. So I had to put that motherly instinct back into play.
They say there's a saying that there's a saying that once an adult, twice a child.
Twice a child, yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah. They say once an adult, twice a baby. And I heard a lady last night say, I can't remember the exact words that she used, but you become an infant with an infant mindset.
Okay.
And I chuckled because basically that's what it was. I became my mom's mom. You know, she looked at me as her mom. And, you know, so a child looks to their mom to take care of them.
Right.
You know, that they don't have to need anything because their mom is there making them feel safe. So in the afternoons, anywhere between 2 and 5, take a 10-minute walk if possible. Offer a snack and water. play some music,
just like
watch
in a
a favorite
daycare.
show, or sit outside. Yes, exactly. You
Mm.
know, because, you know, she used to love watching Martin, but after a while, she'd be watching the TV, but she thinks she gets mad. She would get mad because she thought they were with her and talking to her or coming after her if it was an
Oh,
action movie or anything.
okay.
So I
So
had to
she really put
change
herself in it.
what I like. Yes, she definitely was in it,
Okay.
you know. But then, you know, in the evenings, I would dim the lights to reduce the noise because between 5 and 8, that's the sundowning hours. So I would always make sure that she would get something in her system because if she didn't, she would probably won't eat anymore.
And that was an issue I
And
understand you had with her eating. Take it in
yes,
enough. Yeah.
yes,
Mm.
yeah, she wasn't eating all of her food, and she was still severely dehydrated all the time, you know, because I was trusting that she was eating and drinking her food, but she was actually tossing it. And, you know, I laugh.
What?
What was
Wait,
that
wait. She
movie?
was tossing the food?
Yes, yes.
And you didn't have, she didn't
She
have a dog
literally,
to give it to, so
she,
she tossed it.
exactly. You know, it was funny because remember the movie Color Purple?
Oh, yeah.
When it was Color Purple, I believe. Yeah, when Suge was in the room and met what was his name, Mister, came and brought her the food, and she threw that tray out so quick.
Yes.
But then when Oprah brought it, it was similar to that. You know, not
Yeah.
Oprah. When what was that name? The sister.
Okay, I'm not sure. But
Yeah.
she tossed
But
out her
she would bring the
food.
food, and it was good. And that food was so good, she ate it all. But when she finished, she sent out an empty tray.
Mm-hmm.
So it was days like that, you know. So then I had to start sitting inside, making sure she was eating. And it was
So,
interesting
Terry, you
because
had to make a lot of adjustments, a little adjustments, big adjustments. It's just one adjustment after another. So I could understand how her life made your life is so different, very different.
yeah, it definitely slowed me down,
Yeah.
and it showed me different things. And I remember one day I broke down and I was like saying to the Lord, you know, what would I do? How would I, if this was me, who's going to be there for me?
Made you think
You
forward.
know, I started thinking, yes, and I said, I need to get things in place.
Mm-hmm.
I need to create financial
Strength.
wealth
Mm-hmm.
so that I can be able to have the coverage that I need and the help that I need in the event that I'm in need of it.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
Mm-hmm.
I do not want to be sitting around waiting for somebody to figure out, can I get a free meal or can I get a home health care? I don't want that stress on my children as
Right.
well,
Right.
you know.
And they in
Or my
different
grandchildren.
states,
So
and
I
they
look
have a
at it
life of their own. Yes, yes.
exactly, you know. So I'm like, I gotta really work on that portion of it because it's about stress free, you know. And that's one of the reasons why I wrote this book. That, you know, I put in a lot of examples, and I say in there, create your own. You know, create your own routine because it has to work for you. You know, I work from home,
Thank
so
goodness.
I was
Yeah.
able to do what exactly. I didn't have to call in when I didn't have to call out of work to be able to say, oh, well, I'm going through this, I'm going through that. When she went into the hospital, I didn't have to, do any of that. I was able to be present with her and present with my job. And then at the ending, I didn't even have to take a bereavement. I didn't need bereavement or anything. I still was able to work from home and, whether I wanted to or not, and still was able to get paid as though I was still working.
Okay.
That was the beauty of being able to take care of her and not stress out about how I'm going to take care of her.
All right. So, Terry, this has been very enlightening. I'd like you to tell the listeners, okay, this month, the last 10 days or so about your mom and some words, some great parting memories that you have of her. I would like, you to close with that. Would you?
Yeah, most definitely I will. I'm gonna go back. It was in December, and my mom was not. She was actually constipated, and I tried everything, and nothing was working. Called the doctors. They didn't even have time. They didn't even want to see her. They wouldn't even open up their schedules for her.
Mm.
And so I ended up having to take her into the hospital. And doing that, they kept her in there for 3 days before she actually had a bowel movement. And they got it, they was able to get that all done. However, I just was so focused on bringing her home that I wasn't paying attention to that she wasn't functioning. She had no strength. I went to the hospital and she was in a fetal position, and they was like, oh, that's just part of it. And I just could not bear it any longer, and got her home, and she was home before Christmas. And one of my cousins from Barbados, she came in, and she was there with me. And I think that was the best time that I've had, because I had somebody every moment with me.
Okay, you weren't alone. Okay.
And right, I was not alone. I had somebody every step of the way, because everybody else has their life.
Right.
And I understood it. And
okay,
watching my mom,
Terry,
I gave her a bath.
Continue. You gave her a bath.
Okay. Yeah, I gave her a bath and cleaned her up. And the last thing I remember her saying was, she grabbed me as I was walking out, and she was like, I just love you so much. And I thank you, because you took excellent care of me.
Wow.
And I just let her rest. And that moment, I knew it wasn't going to be much longer. However, I had another month with her. In January 16th, I was determined. She was in the hospital again, but I was determined to be there when she passes. And I laid there in that hospital room with her, made sure that everything was right. And it was so peaceful. It was so peaceful. We was praying, playing gospel music, everything. And her transition, the nurse didn't even recognize it. And I was like, she's no longer with us. And I just began to praise God, because that's what we're supposed to do when somebody dies. You're supposed to mourn when they are born.
Yeah.
Because you know what they're coming into. But you rejoice when they're going home because you know where they're going.
All right.
And the fact that I know she knew the Lord, I was at peace.
All right.
And
Terry,
I was just so happy.
I want to thank you so much for your story, sharing your story with us. It is deep. It is very helpful. And I want to thank you very much for the love of baby boomers. This is Terry Davidson, our guest. You can find her book, visit our YouTube station, and you'll see all the information.